Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
And a pleasant Friday afternoon, everybody, from a very pleasant Gulfstream Park, where it's another remote edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox with Jeff Defo DeForest and Mike Lubie Lubitz. We're going to be doing a contest giveaway. We're going to be talking about the big game. We're going to be doing all kinds of fun things today. And I don't know about you, Defo, but I'm in my happy place with a happy Bloody
It's always
Mary.
good when you're drinking to start the show. I think the audience will agree with me. People, does it not make for a better show when Mayo's a little bit toasted? And then throughout the show, it's kind of like Mahomes' ankle debilitating.
Loosens up.
Yeah, well, no, it gets worse as the show goes on.
No, you can't get worse.
Well, always good to be here. I was thinking this, because I'm heading to Atlantic City on Sunday. I'll catch the Super Bowl there. And, I was trying to figure out, a lot of different angles, and I've heard a zillion different prop bets. The number, and this is staggering, I mean, the number of proposition bets is as dizzying as the number of menu items on a New Jersey diner menu. When you get like the loose leaf and it's like 100 pages and you're thinking, oh, yeah, look at this, waffles all the way in the back.
Now,
yeah, I mean, it really is wild what the options are.
So for the, non-degenerate audience on the Lunchbox, people that are into the food more than the game, or maybe more into the Rihanna halftime performance more than the game, prop bets are basically like if you go to a buffet line and you have 60 different items all spread out in front of you and you say, what do I go with? Do I get the, sushi that's been sitting out there, which might be a little dubious, or do I get the pasta station or the carvery, the prime rib? That's what it's like when you go, like Defo is going to be going to Atlantic City, where sports betting is legal. He's going to be celebrating Valentine's Day, because this is the kind of romantic that Defo is. He takes his lovely bride, who also is inclined towards sitting at the slot machines.
No, she's a sick, degenerate gambler when it comes to slot machines. Way past anything I've ever done in my life.
They're going up to, what is it? You're staying at a Harrah's?
We stay at Harrah's. It's a beautiful setup. I mean, look, you can't knock it, Mike Mayo. You're thinking about...
I'm not knocking it. I'm
just saying, listen to the scenario here. This is what's presented to you. I mean, you have a free airfare for two.
Right.
Out of Palm Beach Airport, which is only about 15 minutes further away than Fort Lauderdale would be for me, and absolutely a breeze to deal with. You got a charter flight, so you don't have any Meshuggah people at the desk, and there's no craziness. You just walk up there to give you your boarding pass, and you go on. There's no security, and now you get a free flight, free hotel room, usually a beautiful suite. They comped us a dinner in Monterano's on the Monday night that we're there.
Nice. There's a Monterano's at this
Monterano's
property?
at Harrah's, yeah.
Nice.
And it's actually...
You get a big meatball. You get a nice complimentary
meal. I'm thinking, and we've said this before, and this is true of casino hotels, casino restaurants. They're not often like the original. I mean, there's usually a variation in the theme.
They're bigger. They're usually more expensive.
I think this one's closer to the actual Monterano's than the one in Las Vegas. And maybe any other versions or varieties of Monterano's that I've seen. There was one at the Hard Rock for a while.
But all this, and it sounds lovely, and you're going to be spending Valentine's Day.
What are you going to do to throw trash on this, Mayo, Mr. Anger? I mean,
no, everything is copacetic and beautiful this afternoon.
We're
at
Cheers
Gulfstream
to you,
Park.
by the way. Happy Gulfstream Day. Yeah.
But no, I just
look at
want
Lubie
to say
with a beer
that
today.
he's got a beer, he's got white wine. I've got a great, nice, spicy Bloody Mary from my man Fabian over here at Gulfstream in the Paddock area.
Nice.
They have that, what they call the Tito's Raw Bar, where they do all kinds of good, like on the weekends, they have stone crab claws and raw, they have the shrimp cocktails and all that beautiful seafood, along with the world's greatest Bloody Marys. Fabian makes a really good one. He shakes it up, and I actually custom tailored it. If you want it spicy, extra Tabasco. He's got the little container of horseradish. I like mine spiked with
As
horseradish.
great as this guy is, I'm still going to Nando for my Bloody Mary.
Well, Nando
Nando prides himself on
I
this
get
thing,
the Bloody Marys outside with with Fabian, and then for my second round, which comes after the show, I get my vodkas and sodas with the
Happy
great
to hear that.
Fernando.
No, he's a great guy. Has the best
the race.
Spanish snapping of fingers, which
When
they
he's
use
watching
the
the race.
forefinger, not the middle finger, like us Jewish people do.
To get back to Atlantic City, I just think, you know,
you have a negative impression of Atlantic City for some reason. I don't know why.
It makes my heart melt to see you two lovebirds having, you know, the romance continue. And Valentine's Day, you've already said
you're already throwing a lot of like
you're going to one of your favorite joints, this over 100
Oh,
year
Chef
old.
Ola's is great.
No, Cafe Ebola, where you have to get inoculated.
See, there you go again with your presumptuous, pretentious, attitude
I'm
towards
just
places
making a little fun because you always like to.
No, but I mean, you
talk up this place. I'm sure it's
great.
wonderful.
It's fantastic.
We'll
It's one of the best restaurants in the country.
Any
It really
place
is.
that's named after a disease. No, it's not Cafe Ebola. It's Cafe Bola or
Chef Bola's.
Chef
It's
Bola.
a very easy name.
Does
used
Chef
to be.
Bola still exist, or is that somebody from a bygone
I don't know
era?
what the deal is. It's been family owned and operated. I don't know if it's generational, been hand down. I think it is. It may have changed hands at some time. It's been over 100 years. It used to be impossible to get a table there, but now they're using what is that called? That service, Open Table.
Open Table.
Right.
Book
So
so
now
you can actually get in with that.
Well, what happened was I actually thought we were staying over Wednesday night and coming back Thursday. So I call and I'm so elated. I got a reservation for like 8:00 on Wednesday night. So I tell the Mustang, hey, we got Bola's on Wednesday night. She says, well, we're going to be back home. So now, I mean, the last thing you want to do is cancel a reservation there after you got one. But I did, and they were very gracious about it. A whole different change of attitude. And I said, is there any shot of getting in on Tuesday night? They're
Which
closed
you
on
think
Mondays.
is like the longest of long
time,
shots.
That's what I figured.
3 days out, you know,
3 days out for Valentine's
like a
Day.
Mayo.
Very people drive. I mean, the Philadelphians, they all know about the place. People come down from New York. I mean, they go out of their way to go to this place, book reservations months in advance. So the guy, and I could tell it was the owner because I recognize his voice.
Yeah.
Who's usually on the scene there when you come in. And he said, give it a shot. You know, you never know.
Now,
so I
people,
called back and I got a table on Valentine's Day.
Well, that's,
great.
Lucky you. It's already looking like good fortune. But I do have a philosophical question for you because you mentioned about the free flight and the free meal at Mortorano's and the free hotel rooms. When you boil it down to its nub, its essence, is it really free?
How
Well, I
free is
mean, that's up to you. I mean, you have a shot to win.
No, it's not up to me. It's up to the slot machines.
the
and
professor
how,
had a good-
Well, I mean,
how-
we're
how
ahead
friendly
lifetime in Harris
Well,
whoa.
because of a couple of big hits.
Whoa.
Well, at
Harris.
Harris. He said at
At
Harris.
Harris. Mustang is way ahead at Harris.
At
I mean,
Harris.
How about all the other properties where you've wagered?
that's a whole other thing. And the streak with her is over. But
There we go. We've
Well, the
got
professor
that.
made a good stance. Now,
Yeah.
if they lived in the middle of nowhere and they weren't going to do these things on their own, then yes, it would be, let's say, an L, possibly. But they spend their free time going to different parimutuels.
yeah, well, this
anyways
is what we've been
here.
doing anyway.
So
Yeah.
if they're doing it anyways, why not go to a different locale?
This is
and do it?
wonderful. Why you're so compatible and happy together.
I'll give you another
Unfortunately,
reason why.
my
Because I don't
ex-wife-
gamble on anything that she gambles on.
So
slot
they can have their
machines.
So you're
separate
separate.
space.
We know to walk our own way. She knows I'm going to the track, which is over at the Borgata, to bet the races, and that she's going to be roaming the grounds wherever she
and
finds
I
a machine.
think that's the key to happiness
The
in any
happiness and
marriage or any
success.
relationship.
Separate immediately.
You need it's that really delicate fine line of having
Separate
both
immediately.
we time and me time.
Yep, yep.
Well, the
And-
last thing you want is a woman that doesn't gamble hovering over you while you are
Yeah,
in a
that's
long
not
gambling
better.
session.
That's not
Because
better.
one of the most relaxing things you could ever do in any casino setting is go into the race book if you're a horse player and pretty much just sit there all day and fidget
Yeah.
around.
That's nice.
So, but a lot of women don't have tolerance for that. They like start looking at you like, hey, are we going to get out of here and do something else? Can we go shopping?
Right.
And you're thinking that's the I would rather kill myself. You know?
There you
You're
go.
losing money on board.
So we're at Gulfstream Park. He's gone his way to AC for the big game. Lubie, what's on your agenda? Do you have any plans, parties? You're just going to be staying at home
I'm
with the
super low
Sherrills?
key. The Sherrills is in India right now.
Oh, she's still
Um,
gone. That's
Yeah,
right.
she went. By the way, India is not what we think India is. I wish you had.
I don't know what your preconceived notion
every
is.
movie and show I've even seen like Bollywood stuff. It makes India look very third world. And I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
a stupid American. It just makes it look like that.
sounds
Now, what's dumb of us, and you brought it up, every time, and people make fun of this, but whenever you talk to a customer service, they're in India, right? So if these people, and I don't mean to be prejudicial, but like if they are doing technological things.
Just
why
don't
would
talk
they be
about
less
Asian
technological?
blackjack dealers, and they'll be fine.
Why
That
would
was
they
a
be less
perfectly fine conversation.
technological?
Trust me.
So it was dumb on my
You
part.
panicked.
It was
You
dumb on
panicked,
Shirley,
man.
who's traveled. Shirley's been to like 60
Right.
countries. But we had this stupid misconception that it was going to be like cows in the road and elephants everywhere.
People riding camels.
like
I mean, that's
every
the
place-
Catholic
It looks
version.
like every
Yeah, yeah.
major city.
Here's what's happened in the world. There has been this huge both democratization of knowledge
Well, listen to you.
and talent. Well, you know, I
Well,
did
he's
go to
traveled a
London
lot.
School of
Democratization.
Economics, and you know,
Is that when they
not
put a
to
little
hit you with my
you know,
pretentious
barbecue
stick again,
sauce there?
but I am
on the
highly
thing?
educated and well traveled. I've been to 26 countries and 43 states, so I know a thing or two
Yeah,
about
yeah.
a thing or two.
All right.
We should have asked you. She asked people
We'll
where the
concede you
cows,
that. Yeah.
and her and the vice president of the company she's with asked this questions, and they looked at them in the farm, and they're like, "So where are the elephants? In the zoo? There's a zoo here," and she looked like an idiot.
India is like, you know, I hate to compare the United States, but
Well, yeah, we have small
there's some
towns.
wealth disparity.
Yeah.
There are some very poor places and very rural places.
Yep, we have
There
it here.
are some very high tech places, and where there's a huge amount of highly educated and talented
Big-time city, yep.
workforce.
There's a race
So,
on.
I totally blew off the first race today, but
I didn't really look at it.
So anyway, she's
anyway,
in India now.
she's in India. She's
enjoying
having,
herself.
I'm sure I'm going to hear. I want to hear
food
from her
situation.
about the
We'll
kind
do
of
a
whole
food
food
recap.
situation.
I'll have her
there.
join us maybe next week and do a food recap.
Yeah, so
So I'm
Defo, by-
solo, so
Defo
I'm just
by-
gonna hang out a lot this weekend, and maybe do stuff around the house.
All right, so that sounds really exciting.
Very boring.
Are you even going to get together with the professor, your friend Ken, who
Ken's
has a
having a whole
restaurant?
thing.
Or why wouldn't you go to his party? He
The problem
cooks.
is there's going to be some kids there and some people who aren't
doesn't
into
like his friends.
sports. And well, no, they're nice people, but I want to watch the game.
Yeah,
Like
that
I
sounds
actually
like-
enjoy watching the game.
Okay,
Like,
so
we
you're going to
this for
just
a
do
living.
that at home alone.
My parents will come because the other thing is weekends I spend with Shirley because we work weird hours. So I used to watch a lot of sports with my parents. I don't get to do that anymore. So they're actually going to come over to my house. And we're going to
have
have a very
to-
low key Super Bowl party.
Well, that's good. You enjoy the game with the
I like
family.
watching the game.
No, I enjoy that too.
The party stressed
Defo,
me
do you have
out.
an interest in this race? Do you care?
No
or-
interest.
Okay,
I'm just
then
interested
It's
in
a
see
race.
which horse
Well,
must
we're
go
here
first.
around
Yeah.
the track.
At Gulfstream, we're going to do the contest soon for 10 Palm Sunday brunch
Let's
giveaway.
get people up for it.
People
I
are
hope
screaming.
everybody can
I
hear
like
us.
that,
It's
yeah.
a little bit breezy. It's very pleasant out here.
I don't mind it.
There's a breeze. I just hope it's not a
Here they
wind
come.
tunnel effect on
Oh, don't
these
tell me it's the
headsets.
7 with Luca.
Is Luca going to win at like a huge price?
Oh my God, he is.
Oh no.
The
Oh no!
seven's
What?
pulling away.
I usually
Yeah.
we love to bet
7-3.
our friend Luca
7-3.
Panici, friend
I
of
was
the
going to bet
Lunchbox.
it. I
Did
swear
he
to
win?
God. Right? Did I say that
What did he
before the
go
race?
off at?
Like
Once
20 to
again,
1.
You
Yeah.
guys never
Once
bet it.
again,
We had him on here, by the way, like a month
You
ago.
usually get in action, and again, your numbers,
saw
your
that.
lucky numbers are 7-5 because that's your birthday.
Yeah, I was going to bet that
you
in a
love
double.
Luca
Yeah,
Panici.
yeah.
He's been on the show, and what do? You start the great
Well, because
weekend
we
at
sat
AC
down, we started. Yeah,
with
yeah.
a woulda, coulda, shoulda. You miss a 21
Yeah,
shot. Just
horrible,
cancel
horrible.
the trip to AC now because you're going to just lose tons
That's
and
horrible.
tons
Maybe
of
he'll
money.
win,
It's going to be ugly.
Starship Legend with Luca Panici.
Oh, is it
20
for
to
the
1 morning
Starship
line.
Oh,
Share
no,
Stables?
it's
Yeah,
20
yeah.
to 1.
Is it
Look at that.
Starship Stables?
Steve
Oh,
Dwoskin.
geez.
Steve Dwoskin. but
Starship Stables. Yeah.
Okay,
Why,
well,
you
we
know the
don't
people?
want. Well, that you know who that is? Lawrence Levy, the super fan, attorney who also is the guy who is the Marlins
Mr. Marlin
guy.
Man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Marlin
that's
Man?
his stable.
Oh,
He has
yeah.
his own stable? Okay.
My ex-wife used to work for him and has nothing but things to say about him that I'd rather not say here.
I'm a little sick right now. This is Luca coming
Did you
home
just
on top.
vomit a little
On
in your
20
mouth?
to 1
No,
shot.
I just feel like a fool. I mean,
So,
this was
I always bet
a
against
natural.
Starship
Yeah.
Stables. I didn't realize that Luca is now associated with them. But
well, I don't know if he's associated
just
with him.
riding
He's just
on the
having to
one
pick up
horse.
the
well,
phone. Yeah.
if he's riding for
But this
them,
has to
that
be a
means there's
fat
a
long
little
shot.
bit of association. All right. Well, Defo is kicking
We've lost
himself
Defo.
and playing the woulda, coulda, shoulda game. I'm here enjoying my
Did
spicy
I not
Bloody
say that to
Mary.
you? But the race was going off.
Well,
That
you
was the
did say
problem.
it to me,
Yeah.
but you know,
15 to 1. That's
it's
all I
never
would have had.
stopped you before from just wandering off
Still
the
doing
set. We
it.
have.
Very,
If
very
people
stupid.
could
Right here.
see the setup here at Gulfstream Park, we are literally like less than 2 yards away from live parimutuel tellers.
Well,
I
you know,
would've
here's the other side of that. Even though I didn't make the bet, it shows good instincts. That I actually thought about it.
No, it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Maybe
I was going to
You're
bet a
gonna be-
$20
you're gonna be-
7-5 double.
You're going to be thinking about this all the way to Atlantic City.
Nah, I'll shake it up.
It's going to infect your whole being.
I don't let stuff bother me like you do. See, you let stuff consume you, like that Bloody Mary at Houston's. I mean, years later, you're still complaining
No,
about
I
it.
wasn't thinking about Houston's at all. I'm
No,
thinking
but
about
this is you
Beautiful
become
golf
compelled to kind of go over these things.
See,
And you
now
know what? I make a million mistakes every day, so if I make one here,
just used to
I can shake it
Well,
off.
we know what Defo's doing the big game. We know what I'm going to do is boring.
I
What
think,
are
yeah.
you doing? You
How about
are
Mike Mayo?
Mr. Food Critic Extraordinaire.
Mr. Man About Town, Mr. Big Shot,
Yeah, every day
Mr.
you eat a new amazing
Insufferable.
Mr. Super Bowl.
Well, here's the thing. You know how
I mean, yeah, where are you going?
this year's Super Bowl is
Michelle?
on Fox. Fox.
No, you can't watch that at your
I
house.
don't get it at my own house. I feel terrible for my mom.
You don't
My
even get the
mom-
Super Bowl?
My mom loves watching
Nah,
football now.
Get out of here.
Oh, no.
And because I have Dish Network, and Dish Network
They
and the
still have a
local
thing? They
Fox
still have a thing?
affiliate going on now
Oh,
like
my
6
God.
years. I don't know why. I probably could
Get off
get.
a dish.
Well, I like
Sorry
Dish
if you
because
have Dish, but-
it's very, very favorable for the horse racing people. They have all the
that's good.
TVG networks and so on and so forth. And I like Dish. I like their customer service. I like their pricing.
But you can't
The
watch
one thing
half
is
the
they
football
don't
games.
get Fox and they don't get the local Fox or Bally sports affiliates, which, no big shakes most of the time. And if there is a big game on, I'll go elsewhere.
Shenanigans,
So
I
the
guess.
bottom line is I just feel bad for my mom because she can't watch the first half of the game before
Why don't you
she
take her to
goes bed.
Shenanigans, man? Pack her in the car.
I
She doesn't
can't.
go out and about too often.
She's,
Oh, okay.
she's more ensconced in her comfort zones now. But me,
Understand.
it means that I'm either at the mercy of getting an invite from Michelle.
Well, I
don't
mean,
know if
why
she's
don't you
cooking
ask yourself
anything.
over right now? I mean,
She doesn't watch. as we
I'm
know.
gonna-
she doesn't watch the show, huh?
There'll be some coordination later, but I basically can't be at home to watch the big game. I might go to Shenanigans, although I'm like Lubie. I don't like being in crowds. I like
No,
focusing
I
on
really
the
dig
game.
it if
I
it's
like-
the right kind of crowd. you know?
It's fine
Yeah.
if they're into the game. I
Like if
just
you're in a
don't-
casino, like I'll be at this
That's
party,
fine,
it's going to be
yeah.
awesome. I mean, it's like second only to being in it.
Look,
Well,
I'm not against Super Bowl parties
Yeah.
per se. I am. My problem is I've had mixed. When we were in Vegas, and it was a bunch of people, Leslie Visser, people who love football. It was amazing. When you go to these big ones where there's a bunch of people, there's kids, there's cousins, there's aunts, there's uncles. Half the people are in the kitchen yelling and screaming about nonsense. They all want to ask me about the rules of football. If you're
They
asking me the
wanna
rules
watch-
of football at the friggin' Super Bowl, that's a problem for me because I want to watch the game. Like we talk about it all year, we talk about it all week. I want to watch the game. So that's my problem with some of these bigger parties is they don't focus on the game, and I actually
Right.
care about the game.
I like when people start arbitrarily cheering like wildly over something that would seem completely insignificant, and you're trying to figure it out what it is that they hit with all these prop bets. So all of a sudden, you'll get like a meaningless first down in the fourth quarter by the team that's trailing by 17, and you'll have a faction over in the corner going, "Yeah, yeah," and then you realize that they had like over 17 first downs for the team that accomplished that.
Because I can't see the comment thread today because it's far away and we're in the right. I don't know if the audience appreciates all the potential for investment opportunities in the Super Bowl or not. I know that they do appreciate a good food, a
Yes,
big food event, an
experience.
excuse to eat well.
Yep.
Super Bowl is certainly
Big
one
for
of
that.
those things.
Yeah.
And whether you go out or at home, there's also an opportunity to kind of get into the theme. This year's theme, Philadelphia, is, the easiest thing is the cheesesteaks. The thing that I love the most about Philadelphia, like casual
Rob's.
dining,
Is
football
broccoli
dining,
sandwich that you
is
keep talking
that
about?
roasted pork with broccoli rabe and sharp provolone cheese. What are you
It
making a
may be
face?
good.
No,
I've
it's
never
just so
had
funny.
this.
Yeah.
We
So
talk so
much
much
better
about
than
it.
a
broccoli
cheesesteak.
We talk so
I
much
can't-
about this
I
sandwich.
can't wait till Brian at Wicked
I
Cheesesteaks.
can't
He's been
either.
working on one. We might actually go there next year.
I'm
Now,
open to it because I want to
Defo
try
is
this
gone
stupid
the
sandwich.
first 3 days next week. We're going to have an exciting kind of replacement cast. Chris Perkins, Sun Sentinel Dolphins columnist, is going to be sitting in the chair as a fill-in host on Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. So we're going to have all our
He's
He's
post-game
got some football insight.
party
Yeah.
Well, he's an
talk
eater,
and
too. He's a
football
big
talk.
eater.
No, Chris Perkins, originally from Texas, he's a good eater. I used to go on the road with him. One of those guys that wasn't just looking to go to some, honky-tonk bar
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
some,
He wasn't looking for the
Budweiser.
beer
Like
me or
cheese
Hyde.
in
no,
Kentucky.
he was a good eater. We'd go to a nice steakhouse or a good barbecue joint. So Perky will be on the show Monday. Tuesday, I don't know. We're going to try to get
I'm
some
going to try to
people.
get the professor.
It might be the professor, his
Yeah.
friend Ken,
Professor
who
would be
is
good,
He's
yeah.
a foodie and a half.
a
I mean,
partner
he's gotta
in
open
one of my
eyes.
favorite places up in Pompano, the Foundry Restaurant. That's a good place to check
Foundry's
out the
great,
game.
man.
And we also might have my chef friend Giovanni Rocchio might come on the
nice.
show.
Let me ask you
Tuesday.
a question.
Yep.
What do you know, if anything, about those restaurants that have been being built on the east side of the bridge?
I don't know. Can
For
I
the
finish
last
up the Wednesday?
century.
Your
For the last
replacement,
century.
since you're going to be off
Oh, please,
gallivanting.
talking about replacing me.
We're going to have Gia is
That's
going to
your
be
dream.
on.
Yeah, and you're trying to pick up some hot
I'm
shit.
going to go from
Courtesy of the show.
Gio to Gia.
Yeah.
Gia might be a familiar name to people. She used to be on the radio in the complex. I think you worked at the big iHeart Radio factory
Nice.
there. She was on the morning show.
Now, what
on
is the purpose of,
105.9.
I mean, I know you only invited her on the show because you might
She
have
has
a
a very
romantic
serious
interest.
live-in boyfriend.
That never stopped you before, Mayo.
Yes,
I mean,
it did. He's
you're a little
That's true.
audacious when it
No,
comes to
I
this
have
sort of
given
thing.
up
Oh,
all
he's
that in
respectable.
my 50s. I have renounced all kinds of sins of the flesh and in
All right, well,
exchange
it's
for
very transparent what was happening there with this invitation. A woman we never heard of, that all of a sudden he sends me a picture. She's very, very
She's a
attractive.
professional broadcaster. She's now making a living doing voiceovers for cartoons in
Good for her.
Japan.
That's pretty cool.
She's become
Obviously,
apparently
very much, the thing that our audience is going to,
she's
crave
huge in
seeing.
Japan.
Yeah.
She also likes eating and
All right,
hanging out. and she
Enough
knows
of your
cell
lies. You
All
sound
right,
like Matt Getz
Well, first,
here,
Hey, you know what?
let's
It's
promote the
time.
trivia at
It's
least.
time.
If we have new
Gentlemen,
watchers, no listeners.
It is time to start this week's 10 Palms Gulfstream
The
Trivia
time.
Challenge.
Yes, you got to go Johnny Eddie.
And you know what? I'm just very proud of this audience because not only have they picked
They've been
up,
sharp.
Yeah, they've been into it.
Defo,
is really cool.
when we were starting it and trying to come up with
I
ideas.
thought
and
you were crazy.
he
yeah.
thought it
I
was
agree.
way too complicated. Nobody in the world is going to get it.
Nobody.
They get it. Every
Yeah.
week, we get scores of entries that come in to my email, mikemayoeats@gmail.com. You want to get those entries in by noon tomorrow, Saturday, for this week's contest.
The second part's the tough part, though,
And
with the horse.
First part is we give a series of clues and you have to come up with the name of a restaurant that's either in the past or the present. This week's contest, you'll see it's a past restaurant that might be coming back in the future.
Oh, nice.
But first we give those series of clues. You get the restaurant component, and then comes the second part, which is where we blend in the beautiful horses and handicapping or just simply guesswork, and where we have a race of the week. This week's race is going to be the 11th race on tomorrow's card, Saturday's card at Gulfstream Park. It's their feature race, the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint Stakes, a Grade 3 stakes race going off at about 5:06 p.m. The 11th race on a 12-race card here
Nice.
at Gulfstream. And basically, it's a 10-horse field.
Okay, so
So you could look at all the names online, or if you have
Toss out some of the names. just,
well,
so
let's
that people
see.
get a
We've
little
got
feel for this.
Belgrano, which I think is a name of something in Italy. It might
Yeah.
be the name of a cheese. A
Speaking
Caratari.
of Luca Panici, yeah.
This is
we've
Mayo's.
got-
Mayo's
Yes,
life.
I am free. That's for all the divorced people going
Yeah,
into
yeah.
Valentine's Day.
No greater
Chantel
feeling of
Sutherland,
liberation.
those
Oh, that's
people who love
Andy Man's favorite.
Chantel used to be featured on that reality show they had
She's
featured around
great,
the
by the way.
racetrack.
Great.
My
Before
pal
the past, I
Maddie.
think, for-
Full disclosure, is one of the horses. That's the 7.
Donald Trump will never bet that
Shecky
horse.
Shabazz.
That's
That's
a
one of my
combination.
favorite names. That's JJ Castellano is
Castellano.
riding them.
Castellano.
Castellano.
Probably Castellano, I guess.
I don't know.
Probably Castellano. But
10
we're
horse
white.
field. So what you're gonna do
All right,
is
1
come
through
up,
10.
Let's do
Yeah.
1 through
come up
10.
with the name of the winner. Like the name of the restaurant. Either send me a number between 1 and 10, or the name of a horse that's running in that 11th race, the Gulfstream.
And make sure the
Turf
number
Sprint.
and the name do.
Yes.
You can't double dip. where
And
you pick
one more
this
thing I
number and
gotta
this
mention
name.
to
Like,
people
that's
out
not how it
there.
works.
There's only 1 entry per person. I've got the last few weeks, a couple of years sneaky. Even though you're sending
8
it from
emails.
different email addresses,
Yeah.
you're putting your
Aliases,
names on it. The names come up.
also known
I'm
as
counting
yeah.
the first one. I should just disqualify
Default
all of your
entering it-
entries,
default entering it as Zach.
but you can't enter 10 times and have every horse in the field, okay? The first one that hits my inbox is the one that's going to be your valid entry,
All right.
all right? And again,
Always people trying to circumvent
there's
the
always
system.
scammers
I mean,
all out
come
there.
on, man. We're trying to run a clean contest.
We're
here,
in South
people.
Florida. I mean,
And,
All right, so get to some of the clues
Yeah,
here at the
I
I just want to
restaurant.
give
Yeah.
one more thing is that it
Okay.
has to be in by noon tomorrow.
No.
All right.
Because you
No.
will be disqualified if it comes in at 12:02
But the
maybe.
You're
problem
like the
is-
IRS.
But then once you let
postmarked by
12:02
midnight.
in, then it's
No,
12:10, then
it's
it's
12.
12:30.
It's
It
firm,
should just be 12. It
And
really should.
don't do it on Monday. That's happened.
And get it
People
wrong.
have sent it in on Monday with the
Right.
wrong horse.
And then tried to sue
That's
us
a
because
beautiful thing.
they didn't win.
There's no
Yeah.
suing. We don't want to plant any seeds.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, okay, coast is clear so far. Anyway, here we go.
Oh, that guy will never come down.
You're fine.
Yeah, you're free after.
And this week's theme, besides the big game,
Yeah.
there's a bigger game coming up on Tuesday night. That would be Valentine's Day.
That's a
Yeah.
tough one, man.
And it's you're going to the great.
Well, degenerates
Chef
are
Bowlers.
routinely lame at
I'll
affairs
be
of the heart.
solo.
Yeah.
What are you
Thank
doing?
goodness.
You're solo.
She
This
doesn't come
is-
back till
you think
Wednesday,
that's a
thank God.
hint? She's,
No, it's
she's
a business
avoiding you
trip.
on
It's a
Valentine's
business.
Day.
It's great.
No, it's good. She's making money.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy she's working, and it's not even my fault. I
And
don't
you're
have
off
to
the
deal with
hook.
any
You
of
don't
it.
have to go. I can't tell you
I
how
love
many.
it so much.
I've been getting texts and things in my DMs, friends, and oh,
What do
where
we
should I
do?
go
What do
for
we do?
Valentine's Day? I always say Tropical Acres. We'll talk
Yeah,
more
that's a good
about
move.
that in a second. But
But we have our own tradition. It's very low key, and we do it amazing. It fits perfect now for our sponsors. We do. She loves lobster, right? So I do a
I bring in
lobster roll
and stone
and
crab.
lobster mac and cheese. But
Well,
now I can just go to Wicked Cheesesteaks.
No,
and cover all the bases.
Well, you can go to Wicked Cheesesteaks. You could also go to a Delaware
I can go to
chicken
Delaware
farm
as well.
and
Yeah, that's
seafood
true.
market because they have a special package put together for the
Oh, that's interesting.
Valentine's Day holiday where
Nice.
a little bit
Okay.
of stone crab, a little bit of fish dip, some
Oh,
other
wow.
things. You go onto their website, DelawareChicken.com. We'll
Okay.
talk more about them. They're our new
Yeah.
sponsors. We love having them aboard. Tropical Acres for those who want to go out.
Yeah.
No shortage of Valentine's Day options for the
Defo would be
Lunchbox
here.
audience. Yeah. Defo, he'll be getting, he'll actually be paying
be
out of
extra.
pocket, but bringing his own Rianiti in a wicker
think that's-
I'm
basket.
bringing a bottle of
Only you
Kistler
judge that. I think that's
Chardonnay.
great.
I'm going to pick up a
No,
bottle.
it's a BYOB place,
Well, I
which
love
I
that.
respect.
Very, very, weird.
No hard liquor, only wine.
Jersey has
I
some
like
weird
that.
rules about restaurants and things like that. You would think after 100 years, and these guys certainly were connected just based on the clientele that used to be in there and how hard it was to get a table, that they would have a liquor license. But
No,
apparently they're not
expensive.
interested.
It's hard to get a
It
liquor
cuts down
license,
on the
too.
overhead, makes
It can't be
everything.
that easy, too, to
No,
make
it's hard to
money
get a liquor
just off the food because they don't charge that much.
Oh, especially
Oh,
with,
the liquor's way to make the
people
money.
like you. Now, what kind of bottle of wine do you bring in there? Something
You
that's
know, we've
20
been bringing
bucks,
like,
something that's 50 bucks?
average stuff, like Sonoma Cutrer type quality. But I'm going to spring for a bottle of Kistler Chardonnay, the
There you
best
go.
of the
He
best.
loves his Kistler. He's a
loves
man
his
set.
Chardonnay.
in
No,
his
it's
ways.
absolutely the best.
Is there a corkage fee there?
Ask anybody that knows anything about wines about Kistler
I know
Chardonnay,
about
and
wine. It's
and
good.
they will tell you that is the best
It's
Chardonnay you
good.
could buy.
I would mix
Yeah.
it up from time to time. Maybe go
Not
for
a
a
big
little
Chardonnay
French.
person.
Well, I mean, I don't buy it every day. It's not like I'm guzzling
That's
this stuff. I mean, but that's what I'm looking for. A bottle of
Nice.
Kistler.
Yeah. All right. So,
So
No,
do the-
you're
are
always
we doing a
questioning
hint?
somebody else's taste,
Do we
but then
have
you
a-
they
expose your
charge a
own
corkage
flaws.
fee at
Yeah.
I don't
Cafe
think so.
Ebola?
No, zero. I mean, Chef Ola's, they encourage you.
We're gonna go there and you're
They
gonna,
put
like,
the
love the
wine in
place.
a bucket for you,
It's
and they're very happy.
No
that,
corkage fee.
That's
Bring your own
nothing.
wine. That sounds
like
like
that.
my kind of
I
I
place.
had a couple appetizers, 2 entrees last time, a
Let's
dessert,
get to
and
That's
I got a check for $90.
That's a
Jesus,
beautiful thing.
That's actually amazing.
All
Okay,
right,
good for you.
let's get to the clues. Here we are. It's the 10 Palm Sunday Brunch Contest, only exclusively on the Lunchbox.
Yes.
Again, brunch buffet for 2. It includes 1 mimosa each.
And
it
tip.
also tax and tip.
Of
But
course
if
you
you're going
get
to order
more.
some additional drinks, make sure you got to
Yeah.
pay for that and also take care of your servers and bartenders. Here we go. It's a little bit of a romance place for Valentine's Day. And it's a Miami-Dade establishment, historic place that is currently closed, but there's talk that it may be reopening in the future after a recent sale. This historic Miami Beach eatery on Arthur Godfrey Road
Okay.
started in the
Road.
1920s as a nightclub, casino, and
Okay.
supper club.
I think I know what it is.
And
I
through
don't
the
know,
years
but-
was
Yeah.
known as a hotspot for celebrities,
Yeah.
gangsters, and canoodling couples. And I'm just going to
I didn't
say,
even realize they were closed, huh? Wow.
yeah. So a couple of other hints, but I'm going to say a couple of words. Well, you know what? We'll do it for the second.
No, I
But-
mean, people should know this right off
yeah,
the top.
it's not that hard. We want people. To
Arthur Godfrey
participate.
Yeah, we
Road
want
was
you to
the
get it
dead
right.
giveaway.
Yeah.
Classic
And-
place.
And I
Arthur
think
Godfrey Road.
it was a cozy, romantic place for couples
And
and date
wine. I
nights.
mean, obviously, known
That
for
was they were known.
Yeah.
They had 6 rooms where their wine cellar was
Yeah.
contained
Jeez,
over
really?
6 rooms.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh yeah, they had one of the world's great. They every year they were
That sounds
cited in the
French.
Wine Spectator
Sounds
magazine.
like you're in France.
Unbelievable wine list. But again, historic Miami Beach eatery on Arthur Godfrey Road. It opened first in the 1920s as a nightclub, casino, and supper club. Through the years was known as a hotspot for celebrities, gangsters, and canoodling couples. So that, again, is now closed, but we'll talk more
I
about.
didn't realize they had
possible-
closed.
It's gone for now, but there is talk about a revival, and there's been a few of those. This place has been
That
closed.
place
and
was a
opened
classic. I mean, it was
a
one of those
few
places you had
times.
to go if you lived in Miami at least once.
All right, so now I want to talk about our newest sponsor.
Yeah.
It's the place that, for those
Did you
who
eat all
don't-
that fish dip already?
No, there's still a
That
bunch
was like
sitting at
20
home.
pounds of
I
fish
got to
dip.
tell you what, the fish dip was great, and I love it because Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market is
And you don't
known
put
for
lemon?
its fish dip.
I didn't see you drizzle
I didn't
lemon.
need any lemon in it.
Even if it's
fine.
great, I still like a little bit.
How much of it did you eat with your fingers and not with
No
any?
crackers. They gave me those great Cuban crackers
Oh,
that
okay.
were a little bit
All right.
puffy, and I was
I
like,
see you sticking a finger in
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
to me, what the hit thing was that I'd never
Like
had
Mayo.
before until they hooked me up the other day after our initial meeting. Jose, the seafood manager, and the Gene, the overall store manager,
Known as the dancing machine. Gene.
Gene the dancing machine. But they set me up with that spicy buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, okay.
When
Oh, yeah,
it's
how
in
was
these
that?
little tins with the shredded cheese, and I just stuck it in the toaster oven for about 10 minutes. All the cheese melted, and then I started sticking those crackers in there. That was really good, and it's
Nice.
chicken.
Were
It's
you
with the
able to
shredded
stop? Were you
chicken.
able to, cut yourself off at some point? No.
You saw me on the show yesterday. I
You
basically,
know,
I plowed through one
exercise
tin on my own.
makes eating
Yeah.
better,
No, it makes
more
food.
enjoyable.
The guy said, and this was a false.
we paid that guy to
Assertion.
come up there and
That
do
would've
that.
been
Great if
You
I thought
know-
about that.
I know that guy. I
Yeah,
paid him.
sure.
He's the same guy
This
that
is what
threatened your
happened
life.
to me
Yeah.
on Runway 84, where a
I
guy
just
comes
try
up
to
to
spook
me,
you at all
says,
times.
you know,
Sorry, I just
food
I had to.
tastes better with exercise. I said, no,
No, it
food
doesn't.
tastes better
Here.
when you have supplements.
when you have
sometimes.
teeth, yeah.
When you have good company, good conversation.
have
Food
teeth.
tastes better when it's free.
That was the
Not
best line that
necessarily
was
with
on the
exercise.
responses is food tastes better when you have teeth. And then you should have knocked his lower chops out, man, because they've probably been sitting in there for about 40
well,
years without any
food
attention.
Always tastes good
Yeah.
when you get
Delaware
it from
Chicken Farm
Delaware
and Seafood
Chicken
Market.
Farm and Seafood Market.
Yeah,
And again,
great
go
place.
on their website, DelawareChicken.com, and you'll see that Valentine's Day package they have going for Tuesday night. They have some stone crabs and some other side dishes. They do cream spinach and things there. It's a great place to go for picking up anything for whether it's a special occasion or any occasion every day of the week. The big game coming up, the dips and things are fantastic. Even better, get yourself a big platter of stone crab claws, all different sizes and varieties. I've been going there for over 30 years. I love their selection. They are known for the freshness and the quality and also the customer service. It's family owned since 1951. Doug Carter, the current owner.
That was my birth year, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
51.
So that's
Great
been there
year,
a long time.
great
You
year.
know they're doing something right. They're at 4191 North State Road 7 in
What's up, my
Hollywood.
friend? How are you?
They also offer curbside pickup if you don't want to go in the store for whatever reason these days. You just give them a call. Make sure it's before 2 hours before closing time, but give them a call, 954-983-6831. 983-6831. They'll do the curbside pickup for you. They got all the great fish. It is Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market. I love it. You're going to love it too. Check them out. The Lunchbox sent you.
Make sure you don't say any disparaging words about Brett Favre, by the way, on the show. He's suing everybody now. Colin Coward, McAfee, anybody that ever mentioned his name. Chris Berman is, getting subpoenaed. It's amazing. All right, more from Gulfstream Park. If the 5 wins this race, I'm going to jump off the highest building.
You'll jump
In
off the
Hallandale.
table and then maybe break another toe on your other
I don't want to
foot.
go through that anymore.
And then you'll be one of the ones in the wheelchair on the plane up.
You know
and
what?
you'll
What's
hit
funny
over.
is I refused wheelchair assistance when I actually needed it,
Just because.
just because I couldn't ever bring myself to do that. you
Live
know?
long enough one day, buddy. And
It's
you'll
like
get
borrowing
there.
money off your family. You just don't want to do it. All right, coming back with more. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, fueled by this Bloody Mary that he got. And I'm waiting for him to get number 2 from Nando in a moment.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
We're back on the Lunchbox, a remote edition from one of our favorite places, Gulfstream Park and Casino in Hallandale Beach. And right on time, right on cue, in the middle of the break, who shows up with a full spread? It's the Lunchbox Lunch. Joe Beja, the director of food and beverage here at Gulfstream, who takes such great care of us, takes great care of the contest winners, guests. How about that? Last week's winner, Megan, unprompted, ends up, having a great time, a profitable day, not a big horse player, but she came out $12.80 to the good, and she posted all about it on the Let's Eat South Florida group, which, Defo, this week we passed the 98,000 threshold.
Milestone.
We're only 2,000 away from the big.
It's like chasing Kareem.
100.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. When we hit 100,000, I don't know what we're going to do. I might go to the gym and exercise a little bit, but
no, that's unlikely. I mean, the way you're trending right now, you'll be eating more, which is good.
But she posted about her great experience at 10 Palms for the Sunday brunch buffet, that she was a contest winner. She said she was a little apprehensive. Are they going to know who she is when she shows up? Nobody likes coming up and saying, "Oh, my name," and they say, "We've never heard of you."
Yeah.
No. That's not what
Well,
happened.
what contest? What station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe and his crew, they are prepared. They took great care of her. She wrote this gushing, praise for the food.
I can tell
the
you that's
service,
a pleasure too, because we've given
and-
away many prizes where the people
and
were
totally
suicidal.
unprompted, because I like when it's organic and not when you're saying, "Oh, can you please write something nice?" Just it happened, and it was in the bin. I approved it, and that, lo and behold, that thing has been seen by it's almost 19,000 views now.
Wow.
All these people are commenting, so hopefully people will become more aware and attuned. And even if you're not, a horse racing fan or a horse player, how could you not be a horse racing fan? You come out here, the sun is shining. The horses are
Great
running,
thing, man. Great
except
thing.
if you miss out on a 20-1 long shot that
this
your
is,
friend happens to be riding and you didn't put a bet in on the first race.
Not
Luca
one
won the
dime,
first race.
yeah. Not one dime. I sat here chilly waiting for Joe to come down with the food.
Oh, man.
Probably cost me $300 the way this is shaping up right now.
Anyway, it's a big game this weekend, and it looks like we got a big setup in front of us. What's happening this week, Joe? How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it was a great write-up in on Facebook there. It was unprompted, obviously, and it's wonderful that we got some great feedback, and we look forward to this weekend with another winner that's joining us for Sunday brunch. But, yeah, in honor of the big game Sunday, which, in all honesty, other than our Carousel Club is open at night, and they're going to have a big screen
nice.
out
You know
there,
what?
and they'll do
I
some
might
drink
come down here
specials
for
and so
that.
forth.
That would be the place to go, yeah.
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 And they actually have the food that's offered at the food containers out there from Spruce
Yeah, they have
Pizza,
those little shipping.
La Tralia,
yeah.
barbecue and burgers, and they also have the taqueria from Los Altos Mexicanos. But so there's some good options out there, some good Super Bowl eats for us. We have a large party that we have here, but it's a private event with a former Dolphin player, and he's been doing that for at least 5-7
Really?
years now.
Up on the third floor,
Up on
Flamingo?
the second floor, actually, in our Sport of Kings amphitheater.
Ah.
So we show the game on the big LED screens, and we have
Oh,
two
that's
big
nice.
screens on
Who
each side of the
caters
stage.
that? Is that your own in-house?
That's us.
Okay.
We cater that event, more concession
Can I
stand
ask who it is?
like.
Can we have a contest and you give me 3 hints?
No, it's actually Mark Higgs, former Dolphins.
Higgy.
Yeah.
We love Higgy.
Yep.
Oh,
You know
Higgy,
what?
man,
Mark
we
Higgs
love
been,
Higgy.
Mark Higgs has been coming to us.
He
for
owned a
about-
restaurant, a very
Yeah.
short-lived
So,
restaurant.
Is Jeff Cross come out?
deal.
Because I know
I'm not sure.
because
I'm not
Jeff
sure,
is
but
another former Dolphin
Yep.
who's friendly with. He was friendly with
have to see this
me
five
when
running
I
away.
was covering the team, and also Higgy has become friendly with my ex-wife, and also Jeff
Oh, good.
Cross.
The
So
five
anyway,
he's
he's a
a
great
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a good
he's
guy.
a great guy, and he has like 600
And
people that are coming.
He's
and
also a
it's-
restaurateur background. He
Yeah.
had the I guess that place called was it
I'm
called
safe, by
Higgy's?
the way. I'm
Yeah,
safe.
you're safe.
3.
No 5. All right,
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
don't want you jumping off any tall.
Joe, I was going to have
tables
to kill
here.
myself. I really was. I
Let's
was
not
going to do this.
talk
Yeah,
with
yeah.
him. That's a little overly dramatic. There's always another
Just relax.
opportunity down
I
there.
was going to have to kill myself, Joe. That's the only way to put it. Yeah.
Well, I don't want anybody
So-
doing that. I want to be digging into this great
Sure.
spread. Well, okay, so what do we got in front of
So
us?
just to kind of stay in theme with the weekend, all good Super Bowl parties have great appetizers. So this is
Yeah.
our appetizer basket that we offer, our
Those
country
look like
basket.
some jalapeno poppers.
They
or
are. It's
something.
jalapeno
Oh, wow.
poppers. It's pretzel bites, not Philadelphia pretzels, but still pretzel bites.
Nice. Yeah.
We have our smoked wings that are smoked in-house
I think
and we
we've
have
had those
French
before.
fries.
They're great, yeah.
that are in there as well. So it's
I'm
4
gonna
items.
take a pretzel bite because
And
that's how I roll.
And this is all off of our menu.
Yeah.
The Maker's Mark Char 3 Kitchen, the bourbon bar and kitchen that
It's
we
a
have
great
here on the
spot,
first
man.
bar.
Look at all the stuff they have.
And then
right there.
continuing with
Come in.
our barbecue theme is our pulled pork sandwich. So we have our pulled
Oh,
pork with
beautiful.
provolone and the crispy onion straws on top.
That would be this. Yep.
And then lastly, of course, we couldn't get away without a Philly cheesesteak. It's not necessarily Wicked or Sonny's, but it's our own cheesesteak, and it's a pretty good cheesesteak out of our deli. I personally prefer the chicken version, but I stuck with the traditional route for
I'm
today.
grabbing half of it right
The
now.
poppers
and
are
they're
great,
great.
man. The poppers are outstanding.
And I've got to go in for this now because I think my pick. I've been flip flopping, but then I've gone back to my my standard picking that I started off when I was working with Defo on his morning show, and I was known as the Gambling Gourmet. I would always handicap by basis of which city would I rather go eat in, and when with this week's
It was very
matchup-
successful, much more so than his handicap.
when I actually try to figure out the
facts and
game
figures,
based
yeah,
on
okay.
talent. Oh, I went. You go the opposite way and you'll do great.
Yeah.
But Kansas City, fine food town, known for its barbecue, which might be a little bit sweet and sticky with the molasses sauce, the Arthur Bryant's and the Gates, and of course known for steaks and Midwestern corn-fed beef. I've had some good meals in Kansas City, but I've had better times and better meals in Philadelphia. It's become one of the best, I think, food cities in America because not only the things that everybody knows, which is the pretzels, soft pretzels, and cheesesteaks at Pat's or Gino's or Tony Luke's, which is my place, but they also have the great Italian food in South Philly. People down here know Cafe Martorano's. He's a South Philly guy. And they also have all this innovative, high-end cuisine. A lot of talented chefs migrated there from the New York City area because New York just got too darn expensive. And then there's guys like Michael Solomonov, and I'm talking foodie here for all you food lovers in the audience because, you know, we're not just about prop bets and degeneracy. We also like talking food, but
shaking off tough beats.
And even back in the day, the Steven Starr concepts.
Steven Starr, one of the world's, one of America's top restaurateurs, actually got named by the James Beard Foundation, probably about 5 years ago as best restaurateur in America. And he's got a bunch of concepts down here in South Florida now, including Steak 954 up in Fort Lauderdale and Liz Zoo down at Bell Harbor Shops here in Bell Harbor. But he started off, his based in Philadelphia. And I think there was I can't even remember the name of it. I used to go there when I was a sports writer, but it was a really nice high-end kind of a French concept. And the name escapes me now.
But Budokan?
No, it wasn't Budokan. It was something else, but it doesn't even matter. All I know is that Philly is a great food town. And so on that basis alone, I'm going to raise a half a cheesesteak to the Eagles and the people of Philadelphia and say, what do you say? Fly Eagles fly or something like that, or just throw snowballs.
I think it's L'chaim. L'chaim is what you say.
It's tough for me to say as a Giants fan, but
all right, here we go. Mike Mayo as Joey Chestnut. Wow, one bite, grease everywhere. There you go. Well, you know what? We don't even need napkins. We need a cut man when Mayo's eating, Joe. It's unbelievable. I'm looking for like the fight doctor to show up here. Yeah, unbelievable.
That's the mark of a good cheesesteak. It's inherently a sandwich that's going to be rich with fat because it's made with shaved ribeye. So it's okay.
What could be better than now? Do you like onions and mushrooms on it, or what's your preferred?
Me?
Not you, Joe. I mean, what's your?
I like
style?
onions and I like the whiz.
Okay.
I am a big whiz.
Cheese
as far
whiz,
as cheese whiz on mine, I do. When I go to Sonny's off of Taft and 68th, I always get it with the whiz.
Wow, I'm a completely different person. I like
provolone.
With the provolone. I like it with onions, mushrooms, and peppers.
I like all of that. Yeah.
And I like the way they do it at Sonny's. John Nigro and his wife Marilyn, and he took over. His father started the business, was a baker in Philadelphia, came here with like $35 in his pocket and established this it's a wonderful shop. He bakes his own bread because he started off in Philadelphia as a baker. And that to me is the key to the whole enterprise there, those lovely fresh baked buns. Rolls, and he takes cash only, and he does a little Italian spin on it because he's of Italian heritage. So sometimes he'll put like a tomato sauce, so I get the cheesesteak with the provolone, onions, mushrooms, peppers, and a little tomato sauce on it. I think that's a beautiful thing, and
cheesesteak places should come with a little attitude too, like they do at White House Subs. I'm going to probably get a cheesesteak there. Maybe the last day I'm there and take it on a plane. White House Subs in Atlantic City. I'm going to be up there.
Yeah, of course.
Classic, man. I mean, and the guys that make them, I mean, they just have to look like they've been working there for the last 60 years.
Yeah.
And you see all the pictures of the people on the wall that have come in there. It's fantastic.
I could keep scarfing. Now, is this typically on the menu at 10 Palms?
At the deli, actually.
At the deli.
Look at
all
you.
the time.
All the time.
Wow. Okay.
All
well,
the
there
time.
you go.
New stop.
So for those of you who are coming out to the races on the weekends and you are jonesing for a cheesesteak, and you're not going to be near Wicked Cheesesteaks, our man Brian, who's a horse player, and he's great. Well, those of you up in the Fort Lauderdale area for this weekend, because he's got everything that you need for the Super Bowl party too. The chicken wings, pizzas, and great cheesesteaks because his wife is from the Philadelphia area. And he's also got lobster rolls too.
Yeah.
So he's got a good spread there. If you're in the Hollywood area, you're not coming out here, then, we talked about Sonny's. It's a great, also long time.
V&S got a lot of high praise for their cheesesteak.
I don't know if they have it. They have a cheesesteak. I wouldn't go to V&S for a cheesesteak. I'm
See,
sorry. It's a New York Queens
rest
place.
of your Let's Eat South Floridians, we're all over it. Yeah.
Sometimes they don't know
You
everything.
dismissed the entire 98,000.
I know this. I'm going to be finishing off this rest of the half sandwich, probably in one bite, Lubie, if you want to get it.
Here we go.
But,
Yeah, you got to get it for TikTok.
Here we go.
This is for his millions of followers, Joe.
I've become a carnival act.
My grandson watches this just for this. There it is. Oh my God! He doesn't even dip it in water. I mean,
No.
just
No.
that's incredible. All right, that's the show for today.
It's our own version of man
It's going
versus
to take
food.
him a while. All right, so another big weekend on tap here at Gulfstream. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better. And Joe, outstanding
Yeah.
variety as always.
My chef will take that as a compliment, Mike.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you still need more time. That one nearly crushed him. Butterbean Ash couldn't have finished that up. What do you got here? The clues. I think Joe gets this right away here. All right, this is Mike Mayo. The restaurant has been closed, but he's intimating that it might reopen soon. It's South Florida. I mean, iconic
Miami
joint.
Beach.
No doubt about it. Okay, so the clue number one is this historic Miami Beach eatery on Arthur Godfrey Road, which I think would be the giveaway. Started in the 1920s as a nightclub, casino, and supper club, and through the years was known as a hotspot for celebrities, gangsters, and canoodling couples. Okay, and then we talked about like the fact that they had a wide variety of wines, well known for their wine cellar. Okay, so here's the second clue, and this is for the people out there. You can enter at MikeMayoEats.com, at gmail.com, MikeMayoEats at gmail.com. You have to have the name of the restaurant that we're giving the clues to, and then combine that with the winning horse in the feature race tomorrow. So basically a number 1 through 10. If you want to do some handicapping on that, it is the
Gulfstream Park Turf
Sprint,
the 11th
grade
race.
3, race 11.
Tomorrow's card, 1 through 10. 10
Winner of
horses.
race 11 combined with this. All right, hey, see if this gets you any closer, Joe.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, well, here's a dead
It's a
giveaway.
pretty easy
The
one.
name gives it away here.
Yeah.
It was purchased in the 1960s by Al Malnick, world-renowned, for owning this joint and being the operator there. Has had several remodelings and closures and appeared headed for the dustbin of history until property was purchased in 2021 by nightclub restaurant impresario David Grutman. And it remains shuttered, but a revival is possible. I think everybody knows by now.
David Grutman and his Grutman Hospitality. They own, I guess, Club Live and Fontainebleau and a couple of places.
He might bring it
downtown.
back. That would be a cool
He
thing.
purchased the property and he announced plans that they want to reopen it.
Yeah.
But for now, it remains closed. But
What's the name of an Italian joint that's right near there? Very, very famous also. That
on Arthur Godfrey?
On that Arthur Godfrey Road.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
we
I
used to
don't
go
know.
there with the Bishop Mama. It was the Duke's favorite place.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm stumped.
I mean, it's right there, and
I
very,
think
very.
there was a couple of kosher delis on that.
No,
Yeah,
this
there
was a very good Italian restaurant. I mean, high end, high caliber Italian food.
Well, thank you for saving me, Defo. I actually shocked myself.
Was that the
a
first
little
time
bit.
you actually choked on that kind
I
of
didn't
a stuff?
choke. It was just, I'm a little scared because I inhaled that. Like you said, I don't know if I'm snake or human anymore because I just.
And you know what? While you were doing it, I thought I saw a couple of guys casing you and pointing to you from behind, and so I'm worried that the stalker.
Don't get me
waited
started
a
off
week.
about that.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
we're fine. It was a whole lot of bluster.
Yeah.
Did you hear about what happened to me this week, Joe? About I'm sitting at Runway, and I heard that you checked out Runway 84 this
I
week
did,
too.
yeah,
and
Friday night.
I can't say enough good things. I mean, the place looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a scene. It's a little loud. So if you're looking for a quiet place, maybe not the best spot, but if you're looking for a scene and good food, I mean, I just was really impressed.
Great scene, great vibe. I said the one thing I keep telling people, like, they went for that Italian supper feel.
Yeah.
And when your live entertainment is a singer that looks like Sinatra with the bow tie and the skinny suit, and he's holding a glass of bourbon in his hand while he's singing "Fly Me to the Moon," I mean, it really doesn't get any more authentic than that.
Look. No, and,
That's right on it. Yeah, no
so
doubt
I'm
about it.
sitting there, and I'm, both all the ownership, the partners were there. They're basically hanging out there because
They do.
they're loving the whole scene and they want to make sure everything is running smoothly in the opening weeks. So, Anthony Bruno and now, Pat Marzano, who helped him start the Anthony Cold Fires Pizza. They're in there with Pat was with his wife, and then now Mark Falsetto, who's kind of the new young blood coming in with his wife Danielle. She did a great job on the wine list. All these really good wines by the glass there. But I'm sitting there, and Falsetto throws me out a little bit of a Wagyu steak, the carpaccio, the beef carpaccio.
Yeah.
And then I have a glass of wine, and then my steak comes out, the double, the twice baked potato, which is like a meal unto itself. I'm surrounded by food. I don't know if you've seen the movie The Whale yet, but I was feeling a little bit like Brendan Fraser in The Whale.
Yeah.
And but I happened to run into a couple of longtime acquaintance that works for the county. I haven't seen Kim in a long time. She was there with a friend. We were chatting. I was sharing some food with them. And then all of a sudden, this guy comes up to me. I didn't know him. And he just says, "Oh, I'm so-and-so. I own this gym in town. I just got to let you know that food tastes better when you exercise."
Yeah.
And, like as a guy who's a little rotund, and I'm just saying, you know what? I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or just like slug him. But because I was in, I wanted to stay in good graces, the guy just went off, and that was it. But
and the bartender said something as well, right?
Well, then I kind of shared it with both the women I was sitting next to because they didn't even hear it. It was so loud. And they were just like, "That's rude." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm a little bit, wounded. I mean, I got thick skin, obviously thicker by the minute, but and I'm self-deprecating. But it just seems to me it's like beyond the pale of rudeness to go in and say that." So I recount to the bartender. I said, "This guy just came up to me and said this." She goes, "I would have punched him right in the larynx."
And I read that, and I know Cindy Anderson's the bartender there. She's been there for like years, and regulars love her, and she's got a great personality. I'm like, we were all like, my friends and I were reading it. We were sharing, texting each other, going, "That's Cindy."
No, you know what? It wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was Jenny.
Wrong. It was Jenny.
Jenny.
Oh,
There's a
look at
bartender from I don't know where she's from, but I think Michigan. But Jenny was the one who gave me that line. But you know what? I'm an eater, not a fighter, so I just kind of let it go.
And I just have to
I
tell
went back to my steak. And
anyone
it was
that goes, please save room for dessert because the ricotta cheesecake was probably one of the best I've had in South Florida.
I couldn't
I mean,
do it.
that was
the
really
other night.
like my nonas when I was growing up as a kid to get a ricotta cheesecake from her. And Anthony's the Runway 84 really brought me back to my childhood when I had their cheesecake.
Talking about dessert, people who are going to the 10 Palms brunch buffet, whether you win a contest or come on in, and again, anybody can come up there and you just make a little reservation, and it's I think $50 per person. When you factor in the tax and the gratuity, it's about $63 per person. Every Sunday. Goes from the 11 a.m. till the end of the racing
11:30 to the end of the races. You could start off with breakfast, work your way to lunch, and finish with dessert.
And you got the whole dessert thing. So, all right,
Joe, good stuff. Yeah,
we got to let's do the.
We got to get going here,
third
Mike
clue.
Mayo.
I know. We got a little time. It's the internet. They'll always make more space for us on the internet. All right, and we got to do another couple of live spots, but we want to thank Joe, and I'll refrain from eating anything else, but I am gonna give the third clue now for the contest once again. It's time for the weekly contest. We're giving away the clues. Once you get the name of the restaurant, give me a number between 1 and 10, which will be for tomorrow's feature race, the 11th race, the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint. 10 runners, 1 through 10, and email it to mikemayoeats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow. 1 entry per person. Thank you. So again, historic Miami Beach Eatery on Arthur Godfrey Road started in the 1920s as a nightclub, casino, and supper club. Through the years was known as a hotspot for celebrities, gangsters, and canoodling couples, because we're going with the Valentine's Day theme. Purchased in the 1960s by Al Malnick, had several remodelings and closures, appeared headed for the dustbin of history until the property was purchased in 2021 by nightclub impresario David Grutman. It remains closed, but revival is possible and has been discussed. And finally, the third and last clue. This restaurant is ripe for romance and has forged some beautiful relationships with a 6-room wine cellar. But it also has been the scene of some only in Miami moments, including a fatal 1977 shooting at the bar when Meyer Lansky's stepson shot and killed a drinking companion, reportedly after an argument over a $10 bill. Did you know that one, Joe? Okay.
Did not.
I went into the archives for this. And that's one of those
good fact. Good
only
fact.
in Miami.
All right, where do we send this thing, Mike Mayo?
Again.
Yeah.
Oh, you're ready to get out of here?
Oh, no. I mean, just for the
he's
purpose of
going
the
to AC
people
for the-
that are used to watching the show here.
Okay.
I mean, we want to
Mike Mayo
kind of get this going here.
Mike
kid.
Mayo eats at gmail.com. But how about that story? Guy shooting the guy dead at the bar,
Good
and he was
story.
Meyer Lansky's stepson shot and killed a guy. And before he could stand trial, you know what happened to him?
He got whacked.
He got whacked. All right. So
Joe, always a pleasure. Thank you.
That's great.
Great to see you, Joe. Hey, it is time for me to talk about our friends at Visit Lauderdale. Again, everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun. We love Neki Mohan. Visit Lauderdale. We had a great segment this past week at the vegan establishment up in Pompano Beach, the Rabbit Hole. How do you feel about vegan food, Joe? Do you eat much of it?
It's not my first choice for dining out, but I would not turn it down.
He
It's good
seems
stuff.
like a guy. He's open to
Yes.
experimentation. And our man, Chef Sam up there, he is doing some wonderful things that's kind of recreating comfort food from his upbringing in Detroit with all these kind of substitute meats. And he does these chicken wings and things like that. It was fantastic. And that's the kind of stuff that we find in the greater Fort Lauderdale area. Visit Lauderdale. Invites everybody to come and check it out. There's more than 4,000 area restaurants in town, and it has something for everyone. Dockside dining with breathtaking views, lively cafes along Las Olas Boulevard, and of course now award-winning chefs serving up every cuisine imaginable, like our man Tim and Baloo at the Catherine in Fort Lauderdale. He's been named a semifinalist in the James Beard Awards, Best Chef in the South, right there in downtown Fort Lauderdale at the Catherine. Go check it out. So come stay and play in Greater Fort Lauderdale and discover taste sensations all over the place, along with a great nightlife scene. There's the Visit Lauderdale Ale Trail, hidden speakeasies, rooftop bars, and expert mixologists serving up great cocktails. For all the latest information about events and promotions and information, go to visitlauderdale.com and check it out. Visitlauderdale.com. All right.
Hey, Joe, thanks, man.
Of course.
All good. We got one more set of business to attend to, and then we'll be back to wrap up this week's Valentine's Day big game edition of the Gulfstream Lunchbox.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent.
And as usual, I'm stuffing my face with the smoked chicken wing. Those are really good there, Defo. Going a little overtime, but we have so much fun at the track. Why not? Do you have a final prediction for the Super Bowl? Either score or
Yeah, I don't know
winning
what's
team?
going to happen. That's my prediction. I really don't. I'm going to root for Kansas City to win the game. Nothing would surprise
Sounds to me like you're in a state of confusion, and that I forgot to mention our friend Joey Esposito from Cafe Seville. I was in there last night. I saw Hacky Reitman, the old fighter, and Joey's horse Surgusa is running again today in the last race at Gulfstream.
Come on, Joey.
Trained by Joe Arseno, and Joe Arseno also has another horse in the race called State of Confusion. And Joey likes his horse with State of Confusion and an exacta. I might have to throw down a $10 exacta box just for that.
Orseno Special,
And,
no, that's perfect because you're up in a state of confusion.
And again, for people that are looking for a place to go for Valentine's Day, I got to mention our friends at Tropical Acres. I'm not sure if they're full up on the books yet. Sometimes they fill up the reservations, but sometimes if you show up there, they
never know. Last minute, you might get in.
Accommodate a couple of walk-ins. If you mention Mike Mayo in the lunchbox, they'll probably be able to squeeze you in. Tropical Acres, give them a call at 954-989-2500. If you can't get in Valentine's Day, better yet, celebrate a night early. Call it Valentine's Day Eve,
Yep.
and you get the half price wine night
Yep.
special. So it'll make it a romantic evening
happy hour, the
for
whole
a
thing.
lot less money. That's what they're all about. There is taking care of people for a good value with great service. The Studiali family, they've been doing it a long time. Tropical Acres, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. They're open every day but Sunday. They also have a butcher shop if you want to kind of take home some stuff. But I love going in there and just getting a really proper meal, the prime rib, the steaks, filet mignon, seafood. Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95. Tell them Mayo, Defo, Lubie, and
Yes.
the Lunchbox sent you.
We
All
love
right,
that
I think
place.
that's kind of my
Man,
way
that's
to
it.
do
We
it.
got to bet
do
some
it.
horses,
Don't
man.
forget
Good
the-
food out here at
The
Gulfstream.
trivia contest.
Good luck, everybody, with
Trivia
all your
contest,
Super Bowl
send in
bets.
those entries for the place in Miami Beach. If you don't know it, that's
Even I know by
pretty
now.
weak. I mean,
Yeah.
this is
That's
this
pretty
was a
weak.
gimme. It's a
a
gimme for the
layup,
big
yeah,
game
yeah.
and Valentine's Day. Send in the horse, the one number between 1 and 10, along with the winning. The name of the place, blah, blah, blah. Mike Mayo at
And-
gmail.com. That's
Yep,
it. That's going to do it for the week.
See you guys.
Enjoy every sandwich. Enjoy everything.
Enjoy the big game, and we'll see you Monday right here.
See you Monday. We'll
South
talk
Florida
about it without Defo. He's going to be plunging his guts out.
Live.